Hello everyone, I'm Vivi and welcome. What I love about the Jak and Daxter series are all these unforgettable moments we come across. They can range from funny, jokes that literally went over our heads as young kids.
Oh, don't worry. Jak beats things all the time. Hey, Jak?
And then we have scenes which completely took an interesting turn, like this one, when the precursors revealed their true selves. Out of the bunch, there is one scene that we can never forget, one which took quite a sad, emotional turn. The scene I am referring to is the death of Damas.
Father.
At a certain point, while trying to help Jak defeat Dark Makers, a bomb causes his vehicle to turn over. Whatever ounce of life left in him, he told Jak to promise him he'll find his son Mar. His son would be wearing an amulet just like this one. Jak gets a sudden flashback and, realizes that he was Damas' son this whole time. The man dying in his arms is or was his father. If you recall, when Jak was young, he traveled to the past, to Sandover Village, and grew up to become the Jak we know. Vigor then comes in, confirms Jak's suspicion, and adds more salt to his wounds. You can't help but wonder though, how old would Jak have been if he had stayed in Haven City with no time travel involved? We're not sure how much time passed since Damas' banishment to the Wasteland, so there is that to think about. As for how Jak and Damas' temporary relationship came to be, Damas finds our duo completely passed out. They take them in, and Damas has this sense of curiosity about this boy named Jak. Now Damas, king and ruler of Spargus City, tells Jak that in order to prove their worth in this place, one must enter trials in the arena of death. Only by mere victory will one be considered a Wastelander or citizen of Spargus. This arena would take our duo through 3 gladiatorial challenges, each rewarding them with a piece of a war amulet. Becoming a Wastelander meant protecting the city and showing unrelenting loyalty to the king. If one was deemed unworthy, they'd be banished to the Wastelands. As time went by, Damas grew fond of Jak's prowess and dark powers, so much in fact he started considering him one of his finest warriors. Jak proved to be quite the warrior, helping find other Wastelanders caught in storms, collecting artifacts, and just protecting the city altogether. We have to realize, out of all people he's ever come across in the Wastelands, he entrusts Jak to look for his son. He rests his hand on Jak's hand, enough to convince us that he does care about Jak. Can't forget he explains how he's proud to have been by his side in the end. Even before this moment, Damas showed signs of caring about Jak.
Good work. That was close.
Oh, are you beginning to care?
Another one would be when Jak wins his second battle amulet, saying he's proud, and just turning, looking away. This one as well, Damas tells Jak how he has a reputation of being rash, followed with, "Didn't your father ever tell you to pick your battles wisely?" As mentioned by design and creative director Daniel Arey during the Jak 3 developer commentary, Damas was almost trying to take him under his wing during this scene. Just all these things taken into consideration, Damas slowly growing fond of Jak and acknowledging him as a fine warrior. Just imagine how Damas would have felt had he known Jak was his biological son. This is where the chills start coming in. Think about it. This whole time, you were training your own biological son and pretty much took him under your wing. If he knew Jak was his son, would he have taken the risk, putting him through all these trials initially? In Jak's case, he went through a complete shock, realizing the one who took him in was his father. Vigor's provocation here certainly didn't help, causing Jak to unleash his anger. Daxter even felt for his best friend here, outright saying nobody hurts his best friend and lives to brag about it. There's one thing I wish Jak 3 had done or given us. A moment such as this one, Jak's biological father, unbeknownst to him this whole time, die in his arms like that. I just wish we had seen more of the aftermath. What I mean by this is, I would have loved a scene where Jak just takes time to process whatever feelings would arise after such revelation. If it weren't for Vigor rubbing salt in Jak's wounds, naturally we could have seen Jak just trying to process and understand everything that just happened. Speaking of which, Eric Baldwin at Naughty Dog actually shared something about this scene in particular. Vigor's about to take off, and this posed a challenge for me as well, because Jak's just kind of, having to ignore the fact that his dad just died and that he just found that out. And it was just kind of hard to bring the emotion back down to, to get us back into the game and get us onto the next level. Jak was raised by Samos, the one who pretty much acted as his father figure. Heck, Samos comforting Jak after finding out about the death of his biological father would have been such a heartwarming scene. To top it all off, going back to this scene where Damas mentions, "Didn't your father ever tell you to pick your battles wisely?" Jak replies with, "I didn't know my father." Just his whole body language here just goes to show that deep down, he's at least thought about or wondered about such prospect. I just wish this sort of thing was explored more after the death of Damas. What are your thoughts on all of this? Feel free to leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Like always, thank you for the support on Patreon, and thank you to everyone who tuned in. I've been Vivi, and until next time.